Hello, Aaron. It's sad again. It's an event that makes us say, where are we going again? Cruel people who make babies who have just opened their eyes to life experience a horror movie. A horrifying incident that occurred as a result of applications made to CİMER when some private hospitals rented neonatal care units, and babies lost their lives due to humanitarian and inappropriate conditions. The newborn gang, which has signed very dark events in Istanbul. The things I'm going to tell you in a moment are really impressive for sensitive people. For this reason, if you think you are a sensitive person, please skip this video. The person who brought this gang and the incident to the agenda of Turkey is journalist Emrullah Erdinç. In the news he made, he revealed a topic that should be known to the whole of Turkey. First of all, I would like to point out that the issue is quite complicated. I will tell it in its simplest form so that it can be understood. In the newborn babies department of hospitals, the doctor who takes care of babies actually takes babies who should not be in the bathtub, who should not be in intensive care, to intensive care by showing various reasons, resorting to various tricks, showing low values, pretending that there are diseases that do not exist. This doctor goes to different hospitals and tells these hospitals this: I can also fill these intensive care units of yours. If you make a deal with me, I will fill these units of yours. In return, for example, 60% of them negotiate in the form of you. 40% of them negotiate with some hospitals. In the part of making agreements and assurances with different hospitals, the gang thing comes into it. Because this doctor is not alone. This doctor has an organization and has various branches in this organization. For example, the emergency department. Their own staff in the service take newborn babies to these contracted hospitals. Again, in the same way, the other members of the gang working in those hospitals actually put babies who should never have been admitted to intensive care into intensive care. They are applying the wrong treatment and do not take him out of intensive care for 15 days or even months. It is very sad that some of the babies among them, although they actually have nothing, are losing their lives due to decontamination, or rather unnecessary treatment, applied in these hospitals. And what is the purpose of doing this? It's not something that can be done because of a small amount that the hospital earns. This is where Social Security institution payouts come into play. Because according to the news, the state makes special payments to these private hospitals for these patients. As you can appreciate, this is a very large amount in special payments. The person alleged to be the leader of the gang, Dr. Ferhat Sarı, pays commission payments to all those involved under this organization, as long as this incident is fully functioning. The member of the gang who works in the emergency department takes his pay from his bank account immediately if he takes a new patient. In this, as a result of his research on finance, he reveals it in a file-like way. Payments of 2,000, 3,000, 5,000 Turkish liras are constantly being made to certain names through the company of Ferhat Sarı, who is alleged to be the leader of the gang. In total, $1 billion accent is mentioned. So how does this event unfold? Because it's a very difficult thing for this event to come out as well. After all, who would think? If there will be no trust in hospitals, if there will be no trust in doctors, where will there be trust in this country? But over time, the baby's relatives have expressed their complaints about these hospitals on social media. In the same way, it happened to people who complained about this situation from CİMER. When we look at the news, the fact that the incident has already exploded is due to a complaint from CİMER. A mother makes a painful complaint about her baby, and the hospital begins to be monitored on this. According to the news, the officials who went to the hospital are facing very painful realities. It turns out that the values of some babies are shown very incorrectly. Babies with bowel or kidney disease actually have nothing and are lying in intensive care for nothing. Just very simply because the wrong supplement was given to a baby who needs to be supplemented with protein and vitamins, very painful things happen that the baby lost his life. By the way, it's not limited to these. December. The prosecutor is being threatened while preparing this file. There are even such claims out of shame. A shooter is brought out from the inside to end the prosecutor's life and is assigned to end the prosecutor's life. They are also presenting this to the prosecutor as a threat. In other words, they are threatening the prosecutor of the Republic of Turkey. Who's doing this? 1 or 2 doctors? A few nurses? A few emergency room workers? So it is in the visible table. But is everything like in the visible table? 2 doctors, 3 nurses, 5 emergency room workers can't do this. This event is a very big event. There are a lot of different things going on behind this incident. This incident needs to be thoroughly examined, which is probably happening right now. Because after the complaint of CİMER, the phone conversations of the gang targeting newborn babies were caught listening. According to the news, in those wiretaps, gang member medics even instructed to end the baby's life. The gang that organized this organization was listened to by the police for days. The conversation between those 2 people who call themselves paramedics is decently scandalous. Moonlight, end the boy's life. Is it a child with 50 saturations? They talk among themselves decently. In a conversation between another countryman, he reveals how the organization decries people who are new parents. To the nurse, "Is there any progress regarding the patient who will be referred to this?" he asks. "I talked to his parents and grandmother. For pay? Have you finalized it with the teacher? At least let our money go to bed today. Let's save our own money and save him. Is it okay if I withdraw a price of 150,000? The continuation of the conversation is proof of how dehumanizing they are. They plan to have a party with that money they will get from families who are ready to pour out their wealth for the health of their children. The patient won't last long, just so you know. There is another deplorable conversation. Keep the child alive today. Okay? I'm going to go and meet with mom and dad. I'll get the money today. Dude, we'll have a party today. Let me save that money." The money movements of the suspects who made these conversations were also examined. He entered the individual records in which thousands of pounds were sent from the company of the gang leader Ferhat Sarı to his accounts. As you can see, gang members who set up many stalls to get money that they had no right to thought it would be hidden forever. The Minister of Justice announced that 22 of the 47 suspects had been arrested. In his yellow statement, which claimed that he kept the babies in intensive care in order to receive £8,000 daily from the Social Security institution, he argued that the money movements in his bank account were motivational payments that he sent to his employees. In addition, none of the events such as insufficient number of nurses employed in neonatal intensive care, babies being IX due to lack of care, external duty nurse being assigned, arranging lists such as being assigned to intensive care while working in another unit of the hospital are true. There is no baby who is IX due to lack of care as claimed, Sarı said. Normally, one nurse should take care of 4 babies in intensive care. A doctor should work full-time. The full-time doctor is also mine. Everything is in accordance with the procedure. He used expressions. While the investigation continues in a multifaceted manner, 19 hospitals and healthcare companies are shown to be responsible in the indictment, which includes 47 suspects. In the phone calls of the suspects held responsible for this incident, numerous erroneous procedures related to lung films, blood value analysis, and treatment method are mentioned. But there is such a rebellion of Emrullah Bey, whose signature is in the special news. Turkey is talking about such an agenda. Turkey is shaken by such an agenda. There is still no clear explanation from the Ministry of Health about the hospitals. Hospitals should be examined thoroughly as of today, and no one should be looked at in tears. The incident I am describing in this video is a very, very dark, very, very trust-shaking event. As I said, if we can't trust hospitals and doctors, who are we going to trust? I want to underline this again before closing the video. When we look at the details of this incident, even a person with an IQ of 4 understands that threatening even the prosecutor in this incident cannot be done with 2 doctors and 3 nurses. The president is behind this incident and things, and it will come out in time. See you in the new video. Take care of yourself very well. Goodbye.